Hi there, everybody. This is the next session. Unbelievable. So we're on chapter 31 today, and tomorrow we'll do 32 and we'll be done. By the way, it's not a coincidence that there are 32 chapters, because just like the 32nd chapter in the book Tanya, which is kind of what people call the written Torah of Chassidus, Chabad Chassidus. So the 32nd chapter and 32 in Hebrew letters, Lamed Bet, Lev, heart, deals with how to overcome the tendency to not get along with people, how to fulfill the mitzvah of loving somebody. Lev, heart, right? So too, this entire 32 chapters, which is devoted to how to see past differences. Excuse me for waking up. So that also has 32 chapters. So we're on the 31st chapter. Yesterday we talked about how the great challenge that we just said is to see past differences. And one of the ways that those differences are expressed, it's not differences is an understatement. How about polar opposites? So we talked about Chesed and Gvura, those two modalities of creation to just do a quick review. You know, the dot and the line, right? Left brain, right brain, seeing things as a klal, as a generality versus seeing things in terms of details, prat, right? All of those polar opposites, how to overcome those polar opposites. And we said the way we do that is by bringing down a light which transcends which is a higher light than the creative modalities of chesed and gvura, of the line and the dot, or of the left brain and the right brain, etc. Right? With that higher light, except where do you get the higher light? Through Yelp, of course, or maybe Angie's List. You look under higher light, right? And you'll get all the reviews, the best form of higher light, right? So, but short of that, there's another way, and that's through Torah. Through Torah, one can access the higher light. Now we're going to go into more detail about that in chapter 31. So it's known, we're going to take a look at a pasuk. This is a pasuk in Mishlei, book of Proverbs, and there it says, Hashem b'chokhmah yasad haaretz, that Hashem through chokhmah, he founded the earth. Shezeu b'chokhmah de Torah dafka. So what does it mean that Hashem created through chokhmah? So that's a reference to Torah. Wisdom means Torah. Wisdom means Torah. Shalom, shalom. Wisdom means Torah. Shezeu b'chokhmah de Torah dafka. That's through Torah, through the higher light. Lefi she'ein hitlabshut v'gilui or in sof rak b'chokhmah de Torah dafka. That the revelation of the light of the infinite can only be through Torah. We've talked about this, is a theme we've talked about in different contexts, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu cannot be grasped, right, except through Torah. Torah is the way we can access the most high light, and yet somehow in this world, it's through Torah. V'atam hu lefi she'Torah kadma le'olam. Now, how does it happen that through Torah that one can access the highest possible light? Because you know what? Torah, this is the weird thing. It's not part of creation. It precedes creation.
Yeah, that's right.
Precedes creation. Now we're going to do a little bit of a Kabbalistic analysis on it's a very interesting analysis of a pasuk. This is also a pasuk in Mishlei, in Proverbs. So, and we have a pasuk ve'yeh etzlo shashuim. I was with Hashem as shashuim. Shashuim it means delights. Shashuim. Lishtashea means to get delight. There's a similar word. It's the same word, tzatzuim. In modern Hebrew, it means toys. Toys. It means delight. Shashuim, tzatzuim. It's the same word. Shashuim. Now, this is a type of Hebrew word. We can do a little bit of Hebrew grammar here. Mm-hmm. There is a kind of a Hebrew form. Remember how Hebrew's not an arbitrary language, and other languages are arbitrary. right? Hebrew is not arbitrary. Every letter has deep significance. And the way the words are formed has very deep significance. So there's a type of form in Hebrew where you take two letters and you repeat them. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So Shashuim is that kind of word. Because how is it spelled? Shinayin, Shinayin. We take this two letters and you repeat them. Shashuim, Shinayin, Shinayin, Shinayin. Shizeu mi bechinat Shashuim ha'atzmiyim. That then this word means delight. It refers to the highest possible delights, a delight which derives from the very essence of Hashem. Shenikra Shashwei HaMelech B'atzmuto. It's the delight of the king in his very essence. We'll explain this in a second. It goes above Chokhmah, this light of delights. V'shashuim kalul me or choser v'or yashar. And this delight, this highest possible light, delight. Well, that's interesting. Delight, light. That the word delight could kind of, it's a form of light.
Mm-hmm.
This could be complete, utter nonsense, but I like it. It sounds good. Delight, light. It just occurred to me. Okay. Maybe there's a connection there. In any case, this Shashuim, this divine delight, okay, it encompasses within it all light. What kinds of light? Now, here we're going to get in Kabbalistic concepts again. In Kabbalah, there's Or Choser and Or Yashar. Or Yashar means the light which radiates out straight, and Or Choser means the returning light. Now, I'll explain what that means in a second. But I first want to take one step back. I want to talk about the word delight for a second. You see, when we talk about the modalities of creation, Chokhmah, Binah, right? Because those are the two main modalities we're talking about right now. Okay, the Chokhmah of the point, the pre-analytical, and the Binah being the analytical. Okay, so or the hiddenness, Chokhmah is hiddenness, and Binah is the revelation. So there's a light which is higher, the source of those two modalities. See, we talk about the word keter. You may have heard this term before. It means crown, right? So another way of referring to keter is ratzon, will, pure will. See, it's very interesting. There are attempts at explaining why did Hashem create the world? And you'll hear all kinds of explanations. All kinds of explanations, and they could be very good and kosher explanations, okay? But at a certain point, if you trace things back, the explanation is not an explanation. It's called ratzon, will. You know why Hashem created the world? He wanted to.
Yeah, right.
He wanted to.
Yeah.
And will is something which, on the divine level, goes beyond any type of explanation. It doesn't need explanation. It transcends explanation.
Wow.
It's just desire. I want to.
Yeah.
I want to. Okay. Now, it's important that we not trivialize that. It's not like a kid. I want a lollipop, or I want a Mercedes Benz. Right? For us big kids. So so that is primal. Will is primal ratzon. Rav Kook talks a lot about how to do tshuva. You need to cultivate your ratzon. You know, there's a famous statement from Rav Kook. Ein davar homed bifnei ratzon. Nothing stands in the way of ratzon, will. If you have, people say when there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not from the Zohar, but that's true. Where there's a will, there's a way. If you have the ratzon, then the way, the modalities. So the modalities of creation are chesed and gvura, or chokhmah and binah, right? Whatever terms you want to use, right? Dot in the line, concealment and revelation. But those modalities are preceded. The modality is a tool, right? But what precedes, I want to paint a picture. I want to compose, a piece of music. So I need tools. But there has to be something else before that. What's that? Ratzon, the will. So that's what we're talking about here. Then we talk about Shashuei HaMelech, the delight of the king. That's a reference to the most inner aspect, the raw primal will. I want it. I want it. Okay? So that primal will of God, you know where that's expressed in this world? Torah. Torah is the highest light. It's the primal will. And that becomes then expressed through the tools. The tools are Chesed and Gvura, or Chochmah and Binah, the point and the line, the generality and the specificity, right? The hiddenness and the revealing, etc. Those are modalities. Those are tools of creation. But what precedes those is Keter, crown. I want to. And of course, you may have heard this expression, Keter Torah, the crown of Torah.
Yeah.
It's not the crown of Torah. It's because Torah is Keter, right? Torah is the crown. It's the Ratzon. It's the primal will. Okay. Shazo Perush Shashuim. Now I'm going to show you something amazing. That word, the delights of the king, Shashuim, remember we said it's composed of this weird Hebrew construction. Usually we talk about Hebrew words having 3-letter roots. So 3 letters, you know, Shin Mem Resh means to guard. Shin Mem Resh, 3 consonants is the root. Here it's Shin Ayin, 2 letters repeated.
Yeah.
Shin Ayin. So watch this. Shizo Perush Shashuim. Shtei Pamim Shin Ayin. The repetition of Shin and Ayin. Desha Hulashon Tnua V'Hataya. So what does Shin Ayin mean? Well, I'll tell you what Shin Ayin means. You can see from a pasuk in the Torah. The pasuk says, Kmo Vayisha Hashem. So the Torah explains that when Cain and Abel, so when they made their gifts to Hashem, so Hashem, whose offering did he like? Abel.
Yeah.
Okay. So, or Hevel.
Yeah.
Right? So the Torah says, Vayisha Hashem, that Hashem inclined towards, he moved towards. So that's an expression of desire, right? That, you know, thank you, right? He inclined towards, he moved towards. So that's the root, Shinayin. That's the word there in the Torah, Vayisha, okay? To move towards. Ushtei Pamim Shinayin. So what does it mean that it's repeated? The word Shashu means divine delights here. So it's Shinayin, movement. That's what the Kabbalistic understanding that word, Shashuim, movement, Shinayin, movement. Hainu shtei hatnuot hofchim tanug deor choser v'tanug deor yashar. It's referring to 2 movements, 2 tools in the divine toolbox through which creation happens. What are the 2 tools? If you would go into a Kadosh Baruch Hu's toolbox of creation, you will find in there, you open it up, craftsman, open it up, and in there there's going to be 2 tools. There's going to be Or Choser, the delight of Or Choser, which is the returning light, and the delight of Or Yashar, of the straight light. Now, let's just talk quickly about those 2 terms. So what are Or Yashar and Or Choser? So these 2 types of light, which are also expression of Chesed and Gvura, of hiddenness and expansiveness, right, or dotted line, etc., refer to how the creative process involves a light coming into the world and then the light going back up to the higher world. Okay, so Or Yashar is the divine light coming into the world to create, and the Or Choser is the light which then goes back. I just want to talk about that for a second. So Or Yashar, which is the divine light, which then ultimately creates. So that's an expression of chesed, giving over, right? Creating, causing to come into being. But then something amazing happens. What's amazing happens? We have a Larry, we have a Zev, we have an Elisheva, we have all kinds of the 100,000 people that are here in the room that are participating in this Torah study. So they then take that divine light, because we exist down here, right? Except for Elisheva, I think she's still up there in the higher spiritual world. So what do? We're down here, us steak-eating men down here. So we take that divine light right? And we make a kosher steak, with all due respect to vegans out there. Maybe I should give it a different example. And we make sure it is super kosher, right? And then we prepare it in the super kosher way. This is making me hungry. And then we grill it on the grill. Oh man, this is too much for me to take. Breakfast steak. And we make the bracha. Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam she'akol niyeh bidvaro. Bless you, God, King and verse. Right? She'akol nivro. Everything was created. Everything came into being through His word. Right? Through His word. What did we just do? We took the divine light which came down into the world and it created creation. And what are we doing? We're now taking that divine light and pushing it back up to its source. That's called Or Choser, the returning light. So Or Yashar, the creative light, and then we bring it back up through our harnessing our, interesting, our Ratzon, right? And we use it in a disciplined way. That disciplined way is Gvura, see, right? Or Choser is Gvura, or Yashar is Chesed. Okay, so guess what? Two movements. The light going down and the light going up. Shashuim, the divine delights of Hashem. Shashuim, Shashuay HaMelech. Shinayin, Shinayin, which means movement. That's a reference to that light going down and the light going up. Okay, that's Chesed and Gvura. וזהו בכלל יכללות חסד גבורה שבתענוג הפשוט שבאין סוף עצמו, שזהו מה שאור אין סוף למעלה, עד אין קץ למטה, עד אין תכלית, וירד מבחינת השורשים העצמיים די אין סוף. That's what Torah does. Through the power of Torah, we are able to, in fact, take these two lights and they become one, and they become one through Torah, through our learning Torah, and through our, in fact, applying Torah, living it. להיות משתעשע בחוכמה, בתורה קדושה. גם כן בחינת התגלות החסד גבורה שבתורה, כשמו כתוב, בימנו אש דת למו. As it also says, we're now going to Kabbalistically interpret the pasuk in the Torah. Says, בימנו אש דת למו. From his right hand was a fire of law for them. That's a reference to Torah. God gave the Torah from his right hand as fire, a fire of law. Right hand represents what? Okay, of course, you're stronger, but interesting enough, it represents Chesed. And Aish, fire represents Gvura. Fire represents Gvura. So that's also, you see, Torah, right hand, fire. It's both, Chesed and Gvura. So it's a higher light which encompasses both. Shekol gamkein shtei bechinot Chesed Gvura v'hainu lefi sheshorasham bechinet shashuim atzmiyim de'ein sof shekalu Chesed Gvura D'or ein sof lamala ulamata. That the infinite light is above and below, goes up and goes down. That's the idea of Or Choser, going up, or Yashar, going down. Torah encompasses both. That's why Torah is called truth. Because truth is that, it's that which includes everything. It's the middle, which subsumes and synthesizes everything within it. And that's because it derives from even before it. That's why Torah preceded the world. Hashem looked into the Torah and created the world. And that's why all the modalities, the specificity of the tools, right, are subsumed within the source, which is Torah. That's why we're involved in Torah right now. We're involved in Torah, that in fact brings down this higher light, which dissolves opposites. We can deal with opposites today. We're going to have an amazing day. We're going to be able to tolerate opposites because we are now filled with this higher light through learning Torah. That's why the enclothement of the divine light of infinity comes through Torah, and through the power of Torah, we're able to synthesize and dissolve opposite antithetical forces. Tomorrow we will finish this entire book. It's amazing. We'll see you tomorrow.
So much.
You're most welcome.
Okay, so I have one quick question.